What's up, folks? Savage Podcast coming back today with another video. As always, co-host Harry, Sandman PR Vlogs on YouTube. And myself, Kevin, the Tattooed Toy Hunter. And today we're going to be discussing Season 5 of Rick and Morty. We're both huge fans, and we had a chance to watch the entire season recently, and we were going to just kind of discuss episode by episode how we felt about it.
Right.
So I guess we can go ahead and start off with episode 1. This one was called Dinner Rick Andre. And it was not one of the bigger episodes for me, I guess. I don't know if that's because it's the oldest one out of the season that I've seen, now. But I went back and watched it again, and it was fun. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like one of my favorite episodes. And this we get to learn.
That one wasn't... I think by design, very spectacular because they wanted to start us slow for what they were offering the rest of the season, but it's still very funny in its own way. The stab at Aquaman or Namor with this character,
Mr. Nimbus.
and yeah, so it definitely has its own, funny moments, but for sure it's on the lower scale of this season.
It makes me wonder, this episode is the very last time we see Jessica, which has been an on and off again romance for him, or a desire for him, which is Jessica. And we see her in this episode, and that's it for the rest of the season. He's gone on. He had relationships with other people, entities, but Jessica's never really mentioned again. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
I don't believe we've seen the last of Jessica. Now she is a higher being, thanks to what transpired in this episode.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see her down the line returning, and so whether her and Morty will ever be an item again, like everyone, I think deep down secretly wanted to see Morty land Jessica and them being a couple, but whether that's going to ever happen now at this point, I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah. I know this is kind of a little out of order, but I thought it was hilarious how many of these guys had babies this season.
Yeah. Babies was a big thing.
Baby.
Yeah. Morty's done this before, though, as you mentioned earlier before we went live.
Yeah.
In season 1, when he fathered that
Rick
with
Jr.
the sex robot.
Yeah. Rick Jr., the Gazorb, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gazorb, that's it.
Yeah, and I was thinking about him as well, as we don't see him again either.
He's yet to come back into Morty's life, but that is always something they can do.
Yeah, and this is what the writers are really good about. I think I enjoy the writing because we have reoccurring characters. We know, this one right here, it filled in so much of the backstory and the connections, the friendships. You got a lot of that with this season. But, so episode 1, it was good. You want to go ahead? We go ahead to episode 2. This is Mortiplicity.
Mortiplicity.
Yeah. This one, I think I enjoyed it. Again, it wasn't one of my favorite episodes of the whole season, but it was, like you said, it was entertaining. With decoy after decoy after decoy, and they start referencing Leatherface at one time, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But I thought it was cool. I liked the writing, so it was right up their alley for something like this.
Yeah, I think the team behind the show has really found their stride in this post-pandemic way of producing content. You got to applaud them in the how relatively quick they got season 5 ready for us between 4. It's a way shorter wait than it was between 3 and 4, between 4 and 5. Right.
And they, one of the, I don't know if it's one or there's a few people involved in the creating of it, but I think the main two said they just were honest about being lazy. They're got a lot of money, we're enjoying life, just got lazy. And that's why we have that massive gap between 3 and 4, I think. But yeah, exactly. You're right there. they're firing on all cylinders now. 4 and 5 came out really good. I think 4 was okay to me. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I think I like 5 much better.
I think 4 was a very big test for the overall fan base of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
If you were just a bandwagon fan or you were someone who loved it since season 1, 4 really tested its user base, the amount of people that claim to be fans of this show. And if you were able to hang on and stick around to the very end of it, and the massive story between the dual identities of Beth and Rick and Morty's, the splinter in his relationship with not only Beth, but now Morty is not as reliant on Rick as he was in the beginning. So that was a huge story arc, in my opinion, that was very big move on 4 to go that route.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. But other than that, this episode, it was good. Like I said, I guess we move on to 3. Episode 3 is called Rick Convenient Mort, and this was I enjoyed this one. It was good. I like the Captain Planet kind of spin-off kind of style, but this is like what if Captain Planet and those
Planetina, was that her name?
Planetina, yeah.
And she was voiced by the chick from Glow on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
The wrestling show. The main girl from Glow is the voice of Planetina.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
She's in a relationship with James Franco's little brother.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they look a lot alike, right?
Yeah, he's very similar to James, just
he's
younger.
An actor too. I've seen him in movies.
He's got more film credits than his older brother these days, it seems.
Yeah, he's done good. He's done a lot of good action flicks.
He was in those magician movies, Can You See Me Now or whatever.
Yeah, 1 and 2, yeah. With Hulk.
But I thought she was great, Planetina. Obviously, it is fed off of the, Captain Planet is what they were trying to spoof. But with a much darker, the controlling people behind Planetina and her special interests.
Right.
And then Morty going head over heels, and then Morty being the one to break it off.
Yeah, that was huge.
It kind of plays off of the whole, it's humorous, but they woven in feels into the story too.
Right, yeah. And Morty was powered up too for a while when he got all the rings. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of I like these little I don't know how to explain it, but just the little cameos, different cameos of like the Marvel universe and all these real iconic movies that they take. I enjoy it. It's cool because you could tell like even like what age range they're targeting with some of the stuff.
Obviously, the creators and the people behind Rick and Morty are massive nerds and fans of movies, comics, video games themselves, and that's what makes pop culture is the life force that makes Rick and Morty so entertaining and so relatable to the real world.
Right. All right. What I was going to say also with this Captain Planet, it was kind of a split story with, of course, Rick and Summer with their apocalypse party where they were going to go and see 3 different
that was funny.
Extinct, but party it up until it's over.
Right.
That's hilarious.
That was very humorous for sure.
Yeah.
When that alien that he was with ditched him at the end.
Oh, yeah, the one with the elbow boobs.
Yeah, elbow cleavage.
I love when she had that little conversation with Summer.
Yeah.
I think Summer wanted to ditch her and all that, and she's like, no man can resist these. And she let her know how it was.
Like, as a favor to your grandfather, I'll cover them for you.
Yep.
That was pretty fun, right? It's always interesting when it doesn't happen enough, but when it does happen, it's very humorous when Summer and Rick are on an adventure.
Yeah, when they do them two.
It's a very different dynamic than him and Morty.
We get to see them operate together quite a bit in this season too.
Yeah, yeah.
It
She took charge in the Voltron one from Morty because Morty was, she was an asset to his operation to continue to build and build those up.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to episode 4, Rick Pendant Spray. This one was an interesting episode with Morty basically kind of stumbling onto that machine that masturbates horses.
Yes. Yes, they really dialed up the weirdness in that one.
Yeah, and this is when he has yet another kid.
Right.
But this is it, a giant incest baby with his sisters.
Yeah, it fertilizes Summers' egg that they use to lure the sperm monsters. That episode was completely unhinged and just bonkers.
Yeah.
Remember Jerry being the president's water filler?
Yeah.
He made sure the president had water. That right there, like, that never got old. I love that.
Yeah. He felt like it was an honor to do it, like he was doing something. You know, he took pride in it.
When the president realized that Morty had lied, remember that? That was a big...
Yeah, yeah. I that's another thing that that guy that the voice actor for the president, he's
Keith David is his name.
Right. Yeah, I remember he's come out in so many movies. I really like him as an actor.
Yeah, he's done a lot of voiceover work too. Prior to Rick and Morty, he's done a lot of video game voice acting. He was the voice of the Arbiter in the Halo series. Arbiter is the alien that is opposite of Master Chief, that has been his enemy, and then eventually So he was the voice of Arbiter, and
that's one of the big characters, huh?
And he was in the Mass Effect series, so he's no stranger to doing voiceover work. So he's really awesome to see him as the president in Rick and Morty all these seasons later.
And they've used that character quite a bit. It's actually become one of my favorite characters up there,
Oh, yeah. Every time. And there's a second appearance of him in this season.
Yeah.
With the turkey episode, which was so fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah. It was great. I love it. And we get so many characters, like if they were doing action figures still, they would have so much because we have like you said, the turkey president.
I know you're definitely disheartened the fact that since Funko no longer has the license, no other manufacturer has stepped in and made, Rick and Morty merchandise figures and other. I think Funko still, from a pop perspective, can make them, but they've discontinued the action figure line they were doing.
Yeah. Now this split story as well. This one we have the other side of it with Rick and the Chuds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Chuds. These I forget what it stood for. Something underground horse cannibals.
Yes.
And we get this crazy story with the Chuds and with Rick, and Rick ends up having another child. He got pregnant the princess.
Right.
The Chud princess. So we may have like it shot out and went on its own independently immediately.
Yeah, it's like she's like, we're good now, you're done. Like he was telling her, you got me full time. I'm 100% good. He's like, no, that's good now. It's grown.
You're done. Yeah, she was all gangster about it. I'm done. Liked when they did the whole mercenary thing and they had that guy Blazing. They thought he was so damn
Yeah.
Until the end, and he didn't even lie. He was like,
tell my wife.
Kathy Ireland. They're like, you're full of shit, and then she shows up.
That was so funny.
Okay, then going into 5, a Morty Ken Graffiti. They always do these crazy. This one basically was the big Hellraiser spoof.
Okay.
Yeah. This is when I guess the Chris Parnell, the guy he played,
Yeah, he's
I
Jerry.
like him, by the way. He's an actually really funny guy.
Jerry is. I couldn't imagine the show without Jerry.
Yeah,
He's constantly a target for Rick to mock and make fun of,
yeah,
but at the same time, like he brings another level of humor that just he's
yeah.
an instrumental part of the cast.
He really is. Yeah, he's
I
top.
really loved. I loved in season 4 the whole him ending up with the invisibility belt and then turning that garbage truck invisible. That little
Yeah,
extra footage we got.
yeah. And then someone runs into it, right?
But,
That was good. That's another thing about this season 2 is them doing those little epilogues or
yeah, after the episode's
yeah,
over, the extra footage.
yeah,
You pretty much like a Marvel cinematic. You have to wait for the post-credit scene. Each one of them are golden nuggets of additional comedy.
yeah. I mean, I think that's so intelligent too to add that on. It's just more depth for the show. I hope it gets a good more than 10 seasons. But that was good. This one again, this was just another. To me, it wasn't like for the continuity of the story, or what do you call it? The central finite curve, which is basically he's like a god because he created this whole multiverse. That finite curve, he created all that just so that he could be the most dominant of all that. But then we realize, which we'll go into more later, we realize there's more than just this canon side of the
Right.
so the next one, episode 6, is Thanksploitation Spectacular, and this was our turkey invasion.
Awesome.
Yeah, such a great episode.
Loved it. That might be season 5's Pickle Rick. It was just so fucking funny
It was
when
yeah,
they turkified themselves.
yeah. He gets the shot. I love the fact that before they get to bring him back, the Turkey president one that was actually, and then his cabinet, his right hand man, they know that it's not him, and they still want him in place of.
But they're happy with his decision process, so
they were. Yeah, so he took over for a while, which was awesome.
That was so fucking funny. The big muscular turkey, like mutant turkeys that were killing everybody. The soldier turkeys.
Yeah, where he gets them all, and then they become super all pumped up and everything.
Yeah, that was pure. That might be the knee slapper of the season, the turkey episode.
And all this crap because Rick gets so much heat on himself that he has to try to get another presidential pardon because he's a wanted terrorist. But again, with that Keith David, I mean, again, this is one, like you said, that it was a big episode for him in the season. Like he was there from beginning to end, basically.
Yeah,
and he's a really genius. I love that they basically they say never trust the French because the Statue of Liberty was like a Trojan horse warrior. That was a. But yeah, other than that, good episode again. So episode 7, we have Gotron, Jerasis, Rick Van.
Oh, super fun. I know this has to be a personal favorite of yours this season because you are such a Voltron fanatic.
Yeah, the vintage Voltron. I mean, cartoons and all that. I enjoyed all those. I haven't watched it all, but even the newer one that I think Netflix has, I like that one as well. The story is crazy. I love the story. It's again when Rick gets into that zone where he's addicted to something and he can't get out of it, which is his Voltron collection. And then they get
he becomes tunnel vision once he attaches himself.
And then
until he ruins it to the point where it's no longer interesting, and then he separates himself. He was definitely on a conquest to get every one of the different Gotrons from all the different realities. The great thing about this one was Morty was narrating the episode from his point of view.
Yeah.
As the story was unwinding.
Yeah, because he was basically got kicked out pretty quick, huh? And then she was there. She was taking full advantage of wanting to please the grandpa and be there with him.
She was 100% his right hand man in that one, and was
until towards the end when he just loses his damn mind. Aside from Voltron, this heavily Voltron influenced was a lot of Scarface.
Yes,
like that
like Goodfellas
to his castle.
It was like mafia.
Yeah, and he makes comments too, like "say hello to my little friend" type comment, and there was a lot of little jabs at Scarface, which was cool. So I guess moving on to episode 8, Returnal Friendshine of the Spotless Mort.
This one, that was a funny one.
Yeah, this one was probably one of my top 2 favorites of the season, just because of what it gives to the ongoing story. Enjoyed, just how in depth their friendship was, and then you start seeing all these little things as he's going through. His mind and all the memories of the past. You see a lot of that story, of him going after the wife's killer, and you get to see where he runs into all his friends, like in the Gear Wars. The Gear Wars is an ongoing story from season 1 all the way.
Season 1, yeah, the party episode.
Yeah,
well, Beth and Jerry were out of town, and that was our introduction to them.
Yeah.
How exactly? How knowledgeable are you of the Gear Wars? And then him going into the.
And then he comes back several times. There's one in the first season where he's working on Rick's car, and he starts talking about the Gear Wars again. And he had always, I guess, Rick did consider him a good friend, not best friend, but a good friend. Yeah. It's sad that
Bird Person is, I think, the most. That's who Rick values the most.
That's the BFF there.
Outside of his family, that's the other entity in the world that Rick has the most. He cares about is Bird Person.
Yeah, and we get to watch elderly naked him follow around his 35-year-old counterpart, running around trying to find the killer. But it was kind of funny, a lot of their dialogue between each other, and then the ultimate suicide or sacrifice, I should say, of the 35-year-old. Right. Yeah. The Gear War part. Also, just the Bird Person having a kid. That's another person story, having a child in this. And we learned the kid's in a prison asteroid. That's what they said. So that was pretty interesting. And then we had like the Matrix ending to that episode, which was really cool. Alexa, stop. Okay, you want to go ahead and jump into 9 real quick? Sarek Mortschul. And this is the crows, which is the picture we have up right here.
Yeah, the 2 crows.
Yeah, Rick and Morty have a little falling out, a little disagreement. And Rick, as hard-headed as he is, gets to spin this wheel. Is hilarious. He gets the 2 crows as Rick.
Anything on there would be better than Morty as a sidekick.
Anything. And there was some funny ones, like half of so-and-so. It was
the garbage goober. Remember the garbage goober? He had like a wife and everything, and he was a doctor.
That was not that garbage goober's first appearance in the show. It came out in season 1. He created him and then murdered him when he was kind of all depressed at the end of Mortiplicity. No. It was the one where he was with Unity. That's all a mind creator. Entity.
Yeah. Right.
That garbage goob actually came out then too. The same character that he makes. That he makes himself.
That's awesome, those tie-ins.
Yeah. This one, so you have them running around doing their thing, and then you have the Portal Boys kind of story that comes off of it, with Morty meeting that guy in the insane asylum.
Yeah.
I thought it was real cool that we see that Morty has his own spaceship, basically, that his bicycle converts into. I thought that was neat.
Mm-hmm.
And also, the family car had like a hover conversion system done to it. They showed. I'd never seen that before. That was new.
No. Yeah, Rick's actual spaceship. The episode where she became self-aware and was the kids had taken her without Rick's permission.
Yeah.
Remember there was a Transformers spot in that one.
Yeah. That was a cool. I remember that one. But the voice actress that does Jessica also does the garage and car AI. It's the same girl.
Okay, gotcha.
I thought that was interesting. I was had to look it up. I was curious about the AI voice. Whoever was doing. All right, I guess going into the last episode 10. This one's
right.
Jack. So it was another good episode.
What I really loved about episode 10 was the way they did the anime opening on it, where he and the crows.
Right, that was awesome.
I thought that was so hilarious and so true to like hardcore Japanese anime intros. Like I love how they did that.
Yeah, it was great. All of it. I love that Morty had his body kind of converted into a 40-year-old Morty. That's another character we could have. But that was hilarious to try to guilt him into going home.
Yeah.
Then he finds out he's just a booty call rebound.
Yeah. The crows were at night meeting with the Scarecrow.
Yeah, they're still going with his arch nemesis at the time.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was great. And I feel like this is probably my favorite episode. We got so much out of it. Like that right there itself was like a finish to a story, but then we go into the Citadel again, which get the 40-year-old fix to get him back to his age. But the Citadel, and I'm really enjoying President Evil Morty. I think that's such a great character.
Yeah,
and it's real interesting to follow what.
If you look back to season 1, when they first went to the Citadel, Rick told Morty that the mortiest Morty. Like the Morty that got too big for his britches, could be trouble. It was they were foreshadowing what was to come. How President Morty, Evil Morty, was gonna change the entire Rick and Morty. What he did to get out of the curve,
Yeah. And that was cool that he had a yellow portal material.
Yes.
Whatever. It was
different than the green that we've become so accustomed to.
And this was what I think the biggest part of the overall story was when he explains that central finite curve, then explains that where he's going to escape to is the rest of the universe that wasn't tampered with by Rick, that he can live free of his dominance, and so I thought
his
that was
influence. There would be no Rick influence where he was going.
Yeah, and then you realize there's like more to that universe or the multiverse that we just realize how intelligent and powerful Rick is. Like it's a little peek in the doorway of something more, maybe not even mortality or something. I don't know. It's really, really a deep kind of I think part to the whole story. I like.
They did go deep.
Yeah,
they went real. Especially where we saw that little flashback of the day that his wife and Beth died from the hands of that other Rick. That little bitty tidbit there. And why Rick became the way he is and why he is so jaded. Everything he's experienced. And his never-ending quest to find that Rick that did that. And never being able... And how the council was formed.
Yeah, there's big tie-ins. Like it's kind of really filling in the blanks. I like that we had a little Stan Lee cameo. He kind of pops up as a little lower third kind of image. they always take little shots. I'd read this after this season. I read that one of the creators, the co-creators, his last name's Harmon. I think Dave Harmon or
Dan Harmon.
He hates the Marvel movies, the Marvel storyline. Like he's like outspokenly against it. So you see him always taking little jabs at Marvel, especially when he's in charge of a certain episode. There's like little shots at Marvel. It's kind of funny to see them once you know that he's doing it.
Yeah, he's a savage. Dan Harmon is a savage.
Yeah. One of my other something I like about Rick is they kind of they give a little nod to like Inspector Gadget with his body. They do it again in this episode. I saw it throughout. I think seen it 2 other times. Like one where he had Go Gadget skis actually built into his legs, his feet, and this time his arms shoot off and can come back on the cord or whatever. It's pretty interesting that he's becoming like less and less human, it seems, as the seasons go.
What about them acknowledging that Rick's parents were interracial? You know, his mom was white, and his dad was Hispanic, was Mexican.
Yeah, right. Thus the Sanchez. Yeah. Other than that, C-137, man. I this really just keeps me wanting more, to be honest. This whole season flew by very smooth. We didn't have any pauses. You know, they were really good on every week. They did really well this time.
They had a little bit of a break, but it was just during Labor Day weekend. And then they got back to it, and we got the finale. And, 9 and 10, episode 9 and 10 are basically 2 parts.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I thought was cool? I think it was episode 7 where they kind of give you another little shot of them having a band in college, like a rock band. There was he went through and you get to see them performing on stage. But in season 1, they had like a big old portrait on the wall of that band, and then we get to see them go back to that portrait and show what the portrait was about in this season. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, him and Bird Person.
They were called. I think they were called the Flesh Curtains. Something weird. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, also that there was a band of aliens that came out in first. I think it was the first or second season of Bird Person's Wedding. With the wedding band came out this season, and it's the same band.
Yeah.
Everyone, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the discussion. Comment down below if you what you thought about it. I'd like to know. We have a lot of fans out there.
We really like your feedback, so we can keep doing these. If we have even just a handful of people, would be enough for us to want to do the motivation to do something. Like, there is a lot of editing on Kevin's end, so we appreciate anyone who likes and subscribes and leaves us comments. It really helps.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, thank you, sir. I enjoyed it.
Yep.
Until next time, stay savvy.
Wubba dub dub.
Wubba dub dub.